Hey y'all, happy Sunday. I just want to give a quick story time. A few people in my comments said that they don't mind hearing the story time, so I'm going to tell you guys really quick. The story I'm about to tell you guys is about a story that happened at another facility, not the facility that I work at right now. I just want to make that clear. But anyway, y'all worked at this facility, and I'm going to call the lady that I'm talking about. I'm going to call her Sally, and then I'm going to call the baby named Juicy and the mama named Karen. I don't know. I'm just making up names, y'all, because I don't want to say their real name. But anyway, y'all, we had got this new little girl. Her name is Juicy. She was very cute, you guys. Adorable, so sweet, pretty mixed girl. It was her first time in childcare, and not only that, it was her first time in childcare. She's her mom's only child. Juicy's mom, Karen, is very sweet, but she's very, very, very like strict on her daughter, which she have every right to because that's her baby. Who not gonna play about their kids? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, her daughter was very, very like always grabbing the kids' stuff, which she was 2 years old. That's what they do. She was always feeling like everything was hers. So one day, let me remind you, in regular childcare, y'all, the ratio is way higher. At first, at the time when this happened, the ratio was 9 2-year-olds to one person, but now it's 8 to 1. Ooh, big difference. But anyway, Karen dropped her baby Juicy off at school one day. Juicy, was playing with the kiddos or whatever, but then Juicy decided she wanted a toy that another kid had. And let me also tell you guys, on the changer table, this is where the incident happened at. On the changer table, it's like a cabinet, but at the bottom it's open. So of course, every time we walk away, the kids run right under there, which we try to keep pulling them, but you be doing it all day because it's an open space where all the kids, of course, all of them literally want to run under there. But anyway, we always try to keep the kids from going under there, but anyway, that's where the incident happened at. But Juicy was, like I said, she was taking the kids, the toys from the other kids, which that's what 2-year-olds do. Okay. And one of the kiddos named Bobby had a toy. Juicy went over there, grabbed the toy from Bobby, and of course Bobby tried to out her. And y'all, when the kiddos are when they're 2, that's the stage where they bite, okay? Y'all, it's so many times we done literally stopped kids from biting. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. Not including you also have to do activities with them. But let me remind you, the ratio is 9 to 1. It's only one person in there. That's Miss Sally. She's so sweet, y'all. She's been working with children for years, y'all. She's adorable. She's so kind. But anyway, yeah. Bobby tried to, take a chunk out of Juicy, which Miss Sally grabbed and caught, But goodness gracious, Lord behold, after they had snack, Miss Sally was cleaning up the snack, which I said the kids always run underneath the change table. So she's trying to get snack cleaned up. In the process, getting the kids out from underneath the change table, which I told y'all is wide open. I don't know why it's made like that, but they can run underneath. It's like an open space. They can run in there. Anyway, she was cleaning up at the same time, trying to grab the kids. But she's, like I said, they 2-year-olds. That's what they do. They try to chunk each other arms off. But she been catching them. She was doing good. But at the moment, this one moment, she turned around and started sweeping up some more. She was almost finished cleaning. She missed it. Bobby got over there to Juicy and took a big chunk out of, Bobby went over to the Juicy and took a big chunk out of her arm. And oh my gosh, Sally, she dropped the broom. She was freaking out, tried to, of course she cared for the baby, put whatever ice on or whatever she's supposed to. And that was that. And then the supervisor, contact the mom or whatever, because that's what they do. Let them know that their child did get, bit or whatever. But, and Sally, got through cleaning up, da-da-da. Later on that evening, Juicy's mom, Karen, bust through the door and was like, "You let my child get bit. Da, da, da. You wasn't watching the kids. You wrong for that. You wrong for that. I'm about to shut this mother down. I'm about to shut this mother down. You going down. You finna lose your job. This is unacceptable. You need to pay attention to the kids." And y'all, everybody outside was devastated. First of all, Karen should not have been able to get back there to the room to even go off on Sally like that, because anything could happen. She could have had a weapon. Anything could have happened. But y'all, Sally basically just turned so red in the face, and she was like, ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm just, because I seen what happened. She was like, ma'am, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You should have been paying attention. You are wrong. You need to lose your job. This is unacceptable. I'm calling DHS. You need to make sure you turn around and watch all the kids. You do not know how to take care of kids. You need to make sure you know what you're doing. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Y'all, she was just really, really going off on Sally. And like I said, Sally was crying, bawling, apologizing. Like, I'm surprised I didn't see her get on her knees. And y'all, like I said, Sally, it's not that she wasn't doing her job or paying attention, but she still had to clean up snack. You can't leave food all on the floors for the kids to come over there and pick it up and put it in their mouth. That's very unsanitary. And like I said, the ratio at the time was 9 2-year-olds to 1. Which everybody knows 2-year-olds are very busy. Very, very extremely busy. Very, very extremely hyper. But yeah, like I said, she got, oh y'all, it was just so horrible. And not only that, she was in her face, pointing at her like, you are wrong. You need to make sure you pay attention what these kids doing. Da 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 da. And then we had, we just told, she left out. She grabbed her baby, walked out, slamming the door. She slammed everything, yanked her stuff off the walls or whatever. And then, of course, you know, Sally was crying. We tried to calm her down and everything. Sorry, y'all, but my nephew niece came here. But yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, but Sally, we calmed her down, tried to calm her down. But anyway, the lady took herself off the wall and slammed the doors and went out. And next, you know, DHS came up there, of course. Which I understand, you know, that's your baby. You want to make sure your child's taken care of. And it's no, I'm not doubting that. I'm not mad about that, you know. But I just felt so sad for Sally because I know we all done been through it, y'all. We all done been through it. But yeah, she went called DHS. DHS came up there and DHS was like, okay, what happened? Da, da, da. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. DHS, they make sure the kids are taken care of, but they know a lot of parents, they don't play about their kids, which like I said, you have every right to not play about your baby. Okay, but they get so many phone calls about stuff. And like I said, 2-year-olds, y'all, that's what they do. They bite. I mean, that's just the age that they do that in, you know. But they came up there and they talked to Miss Sally, and Sally, she was so hysterical. I don't think she can even, she talked to them, but I think she was like, you know, doing that because she was so, she never been through nothing like that. And she been in childcare for like 20-something years. And DHS asked what happened, basically, and she told them what happened. And then, thank God we had cameras. And that's another thing. I used to feel some type of way. I'm like, why I feel like I'm being watched? But it's to protect the children, and it's to protect the employees. Because if it weren't for those cameras, we wouldn't really just knew everything what happened really. But yeah, DHS came, they looked at the cameras, and they was like, Miss Sally, you're fine. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. But she did have to take a few days off, because they was doing an investigation, obviously. So she couldn't work for like 2 or 3 days, but she ended up coming back to work. But thank goodness her mom kind of had, you know what I mean? So she took off a little bit longer than that, because she said that devastated her. She'd never been through nothing like that ever in her life, with a parent coming back there just all in her face like this. Because, I mean, of course, we done had children in the classroom that got bit before. I mean, that's what they do. Like, you do your best not to let them get bit, but sometimes it happens, unfortunately. I mean, we're not robots. But the DHS came, they viewed the camera, and it was like, you didn't do anything wrong. You're fine. Like, the parent, if she want to bring her back. If she don't, she just don't. Like, you did nothing wrong. But Miss Sally was so devastated, like I said, y'all, she couldn't even work. But y'all, and it's crazy because later on, even though Miss Karen was upset, she brought her baby back. Now, if you so devastated and was that mad and you said you're going to shut this mother down, why you bring your baby back? You know, and I thought, I'm not going to tell no story. I thought Miss Karen was going to actually apologize to Miss Sally about coming to her like that. Like I said, I understand the concerns about your baby. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't play by my boys, and they grown up, they older. I don't care. But the way she came in there pointing her face, that was just too much. But yeah, she ended up bringing Sally back. I mean, not Sally. She ended up bringing Juicy back later on. Girl, she was still there when I left, because she had messaged me. I was like, You gone? Why you leave? I'm like, I have found a better job. But anyway, yeah, y'all, that's what had happened. That's just one of the little story times. I'm trying to think of some other things that happened. Like I said, I've been in childcare for 25 years, and it's a lot of stories that I can tell y'all about. But that's just one of the stories I wanted to tell y'all about Miss Sally. Like I said, she's a sweetheart. She still work with children. She's still there. I think she transferred to another center. But y'all, if you ever want to work with kids, just be prepared. You got to deal with a lot of things. And yeah, that's just the first story time that I have working with children. A crazy incident that had happened. But y'all, please like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'll be back with another story time. Bye, y'all.